Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the fourth day of International Conference. We welcome you all to the International Conference of Social Work. And today we are having Open Day, celebrating and commemorating the freedom of social workers. On this occasion, we are organizing Open Day as anyone can share their details, information, or their opinions, perspectives, thoughts on what is social work. Basically, their awareness about social work. Who is social worker? What social work means? What do they think about what they have learned? What they know about social work, education, training, and what they think about social work as a profession or as a practice, and about various social worker associations that are working and how effective they are in bringing awareness and promoting social work. If there are any challenges and what are the various challenges that are happening, all this you can share with us. And we have dedicated 2 days because this entire month is being celebrated as National Social Work Month. That is World Social Work Month. So we have dedicated 2 days, that is today on the occasion of World Social Work Day, and the last day of the month, that is 31st March. Again, we have one more Social Work Day, Open Day, where this 1 month you might be attending various events and you might have gained and you might have also observed. So on that day, you all can share your reflections once again after almost a month's, half month time, that is after 10 days or so. So this is a wonderful opportunity. This is not just for social workers, but anyone, generally, in the society also, a common man or a common person. His awareness about social worker or social work education, profession, anyone irrespective of their discipline, field, they can share their views. We'll be sharing the topics, or in general also you can talk about them. And you can also talk about social service as well as social work. Do you think is there any difference? If there is any difference, what difference is there? What kind of difference is there? And which one you would more prefer, social service or social work? And also, whether social service can be part of social work or social work can be part of social service. Like that, there is no end or there is no boundaries for thoughts to ponder. You can talk about anything related to social work. That's your opinion. I mean, your thoughts. So there is no one going to judge you. You can feel free. You can share your thoughts, your understanding about after commemoration of this day, because I will give you a brief history about social work. Then we can move on with the open sessions. Because if I give you some insights, hope you all might already know about it. But still, if we get some insights, that would be helpful for our thoughts to diversify. So before we start formally, so I extend warm welcome to all the participants on the fourth day of International Conference. And today we are commemorating and organizing an open house or open day or open platform, which is open for all to share their views, opinions, and perspectives and thoughts on this field and profession and practice in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Wellbeing, and International Federation of Social Workers, and all other collaborators, also commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence, also United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, and Viksit Bharat at 2047, and World Social Work Day week month celebrations is March 2025. So before we start our sessions and commemorations, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
So we request all the participants and presenters to register through the registration form, which has been raised in the form of polls in Zoom platform, to mark your attendance, and also fill the feedback form, which will be shared at the end of the session, and mark your attendance. And those who are willing to share their opinions, feedback, they can share their details, and you can just say whatever it is. For presenters, you can mention topic title, or others, you can just share as my view, opinion about whatever you are talking. You can mention it, and you can mention as open day talk, and you can mention your topic. So that way we can recognize easily what is the talk about. So now we request everyone to utilize this opportunity. Now, before starting the sessions, let's start the commemorations. Today, we are commemorating World Social Work Day. World Social Work Day is celebrated on third Tuesday of March every year, and this year it takes place on 18th March 2025. So this year's theme is strengthening intergenerational solidarity for enduring well-being, which emphasizes the importance of caring and respecting across generations to build strong societies, sustain the environment, and share wisdom for better future. So Joachim Mamba, the IFSW president, stated, this theme highlights the critical role of intergenerational care, respect, and collaboration in creating resilient communities and sustainable environments. It underscores the social work profession dedication to building connections that value the wisdom of our elders while empowering younger generations to tackle today's challenges and envision a better future. Together, we can build a world where compassion and solidarity lay the groundwork for lasting well being for everyone. As an African proverb says, if you light a lamp for someone, it will also brighten your own path. Our collective efforts to uplift one another ultimately illuminate the way forward for all. So, on this occasion, we are celebrating World Social Work Day across the world with wide organizations commemorating and celebrating World Social Work Day, World Social Work Week, and World Social Work Month. Now let's see what is social work. Social work, as mentioned by International Federation of Social Workers, social work is a game changer. Social workers work in communities with people, finding positive ways forward in the challenges they face in their lives. They help people build the kind of environments in which they want to live through co-determination, co-production, and social responsibility. Economic health cannot be achieved without social health. And it is an ethical practice. Human rights and social justice are critical in any social worker thinking and actions. So the state of ethical principles guide social worker, challenge inequalities, discrimination in all its forms, and empower people to be in charge of their lives, providing that they do not seek to harm or abuse people. Social protection and transformational change. Charity does not bring change, can create dependency. Social protection is a community responsibility, but it also should lead to inclusion and social cohesion in our societies. Social workers have skills, knowledge, and expertise to work alongside people and support them on journey through change so that they can achieve individual and collective well-being. The economics of social work: for every dollar spent on social service, there is a $3 return on investment to the national economy. So social work investment builds social cohesion and peace. Co-production gets people into employment. Social work is the largest non-political movement globally for peace and social justice. Now, World Social Work Day is a celebration that aims to highlight the achievements of social work, to raise the visibility of social services for the future of societies, and to defend social justice and human rights. Every year, World Social Work Day is celebrated in the third Tuesday of March. It is a celebration that has become a high point in the social work calendar, with social workers all over the world celebrating and promoting the contributions of the profession to individuals, families, communities, and wider society. The first Social Work Day was celebrated in 2007 under the theme Social Work Making a World of Difference. The initiatives of celebrating World Social Work Day was approved by the member organizations of the International Federation of Social Workers, IFSW, at the general meeting at Adelaide in 2004. The current date was agreed in the general meeting in Brazil 2008 and to be in place to 2000. However, we must look at the beginning of the 1980s to find the origins of this world celebration. In 1983, IFSW, United Nations representatives in New York, led by Jacques Cameco, proposed a project to bring social workers of this area into the UN headquarters in New York. This was the beginning of annual celebration called Social Work Day at the United Nations. The original idea behind the Social Work Day was to organize an event that could be a way interpreting the work of the United Nations to the social work profession and of alerting social workers to the means by which they can collaborate with the NGOs on humanitarian issues. Since this first annual Social Work Day at the United Nations, the IFSW UN representatives continue to organize these days during either April or March. On 25th March 1986, the third annual Social Work Day at the United Nations was organized under the theme Children and Youth Can Make the Difference, Revival and Development in cooperation with NASW's Peace and Disarmament Committee. On 28 April 1987, the fourth annual Social Work Day at the United Nations in New York used the theme International Perspectives, the Changing Family, Implications for Social Policy. On 29 March 1989, the sixth annual Social Work Day at the United Nations was organized with the theme The Impact of Environment on the Human Condition, an International Human Rights Problem. On 21st March 1990, the seventh annual Social Work Day at the United Nations was held under the theme The Empowerment Through Literacy and Education, International Opportunities. The event was organized by IFSW team at the UN New York and jointly sponsored by IFSW, National Association of Social Work, New York chapter, Social Workers for Peace and Nuclear Disarmament, and other NASW-related bodies. On 19th March 1991, the 8th annual Social Work Day at the United Nations was held with the theme Global Upheavals, Social Consequences for the Family. On 24th March 1992, The ninth annual Social Work Day at the UN was devoted to the subject of AIDS, the international crisis, a social work call to action. On 23rd March 1993, the 10th anniversary of Social Work Day was held under the theme A Global Challenge, Ethnic Conflict and Humanitarian Issues. Along the years, the initiative that started in New York in 1983 has spread to the other UN headquarters, and IFSW and UN representatives now organize events in Geneva and in also Bangkok to celebrate Social Work Day in the United Nations. However, we had to wait until 2007 to find the first World Social Work Day. Following the spirit of World Social Work Day at the United Nations, the question of an international focused Global Social Work Day was part of IFSW General Meeting agenda for a number of years. In addition, several members organizations started seeking the IFSW Secretariat's guidance about existence of an International Social Work Day and their desire to coordinate a National Social Work Day with that date. So in 1997, IFSW members organization in Europe launched a pan-European Social Work Action Day, which arose from EU-funded social inclusion project. The initiative that was widely supported across Europe led to the global proposal about celebrating a social work day. So IFSW members debated about how to link the social work day at the UN and to the European Social Work Action Day. At the IFSW General Meeting 2004 in Adelaide, members organization voted to establish an International Social Work Day. In 2006 at Munich, at IFSW General Meeting, members agreed that the theme for World Social Work Day 2008 would remain the same theme as the Jubilee year, social work making a world of difference. So the first World Social Work Day was celebrated worldwide in 2007 under the theme Social Work Making a World of Difference. And on April 15, 2008, IFSW members organized the second World Social Work Day and continued the theme Social Work Making a World Difference. In 2008, at the IFSW General Meeting in Brazil, IFSW member organizations agreed that the future of World Social Work Days to be celebrated in March each year on third Tuesday. So the general theme for the World Social Work Day 2009 was making human rights real. The social work agenda, which was in focus for the World Conference 2010 in Hong Kong, where it was discussed how social workers could build a social work and a social development agenda for the upcoming decade that face the challenges that global society is confronted with and that makes that humanity can thrive despite the troubled times. After the global agenda for the social work and social development was approved in Hong Kong 2010, the theme of World Social Work Day and Social Work Day at the United Nations were set for 2 years according to the goals of the global agenda. So the themes for 2012 till 2024 was promoting social and economic equality. The theme for 2015 till 2016 was promoting the dignity and worth of peoples. The theme for 2017 and 2018 was promoting community and environmental sustainability. The theme for 2019 and 2020 was promoting the importance of human relationships. So World Social Work Day is currently an event that has become so successful in recent years It is now generally considered as highlight of the international solidarity and cooperation of the social workers. So every year, International Federation of Social Workers produces a poster among World Social announcing World Social Work Day that it is translated into more than 70 languages and presented to governments, political bodies, posted on the notice boards of social services and in social work classrooms throughout the world. So now let's look at the definition of global definition of social work. So the global definition of social work was approved by IFSW General Meeting and the IASSW General Assembly in July 2014. Global definition of the social work profession is social work is a practice-based profession and academic discipline that promotes social change and development, social cohesion, and empowerment and liberation of people, principles of social justice, human rights, collective responsibility, and the respect for diversities are central to the social work. Underpinned by theories of social work, social sciences, humanities, and indigenous knowledge, social work engages people and structures to address life challenges and enhance well being. The above definition may be amplified at a national or regional levels. So, on this, there are also commentatory notes for the global definition of social work, which serves to unpack the core concepts used in the definition and in detailed relation to the social work profession's core mandates, principles, knowledge, and practice. So, the social work profession core mandates include promoting social change, social development, social cohesion, and the empowerment and liberation of people. So, social work is a practice, profession, and an academic discipline that recognizes that interconnected historical, socio-economic, cultural, spatial, political, and personal factors serving as opportunities and or barriers to human well-being and development. Structural barriers contribute to the perpetuation of inequalities, discrimination, exploitation, and oppression. The development of critical consciousness through reflecting on structural sources of oppression and for or privileges on the basis of criteria such as race, class, language, religion, gender, disability, culture, and sexual orientation, and developing action strategies towards addressing structural and personal barriers are central to emancipatory practice, where the goals are empowerment and liberation of the people in solidarity with those who are disadvantaged. The profession strives to elevate poverty, liberate the vulnerable and oppressed, and promote social inclusion and social cohesion. The social change mandate is based on the promise that social work intervention takes place when the current situation to this at the level of person, family, small group, community, or society is deemed to be need of the change and development. It is driven by the need of challenge and the change those structural conditions that contribute in marginalization, social exclusion, and oppression. Social change initiatives recognize that place of human agency is advancing human rights and economic, environmental, and social justice. The profession is equally committed in the maintenance of social stability insofar as such stability is not used to marginalize, exclude, or oppress any particular group of persons. Social development is conceptualized to mean strategies for intervention, desired end states, and a policy framework the latter in addition to the more popular residual and the institutional frameworks. It is based on holistic psychosocial, spiritual assessments and interventions that transcend the micro-macro divide, incorporating multiple systems levels and intersectorial and interprofessional collaboration aimed at sustainable development. It prioritizes socio-structural and economic development and does not subscribe to conventional wisdom that economic growth is a prerequisite for social development. Coming to the principles, the overarching principles of the social work are respect for the inherent worth and the dignity of human beings, doing no harm, respect for diversity, and upholding human rights and social justice. Advocating and upholding human rights and social justice is the motivation and justification for social work. The social work profession recognizes that human rights need to coexist alongside collective responsibility. The idea of collective responsibility highlights the reality that individuals' human rights can be realized on the day-to-day basis. If people has responsibility for each other and the environment and the importance of creating reciprocal relationships within communities, therefore a major focus of social work is to advocate for the rights of the people at all levels and to facilitate outcomes where people take responsibility for each other's well-being, realize the respect, the interdependence among social work and between people and the environment. So social work embraces first, second, and third generation rights. First generation rights refer to civil and political rights such as free speech and conscience and freedom for torture and arbitrary detention. Second generation to socio-economic and cultural rights that include rights to reasonable levels of education, healthcare, and housing, and minority language rights. And third generation rights focus on the natural world and the right to species, biodiversity, and intergenerational equity. These rights are mutually reinforcing and interdependent and accommodate both individual as well as collective rights. So, in some instances, doing no harm and respect for diversity may represent conflicting and competing values. For example, where in the name of culture, the rights, including the right to life of groups such as women and homosexuals, are violated. The global standards for social work education and training deals with this complex issue by advocating that social workers are schooled in a basic human rights approach with an explanatory note that reads as such an approach might facilitate constructive confrontation and change where certain cultural beliefs, values, and traditions violate people's basic human rights. As culture is socially constructed and dynamic, it is subject to deconstruction and change. Such construction, confrontation, deconstruction, and change may be facilitated through a tuning into and an understanding of particular cultural values, beliefs, and traditions, and via critical and reflective dialogue with members of the cultural group that is a broader human rights issues. With respect to knowledge, social work is both interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary and draws on a wide array of scientific theories and research. Science is understood in this context in its most basic meaning as knowledge. Social work draws on its constantly developing theoretical foundation and research, as well as theories from other human sciences, including but not limited to community development, social pedagogy, administration, anthropology, ecology, economics, education, management, nursing, psychiatry, psychology, public health, and sociology. The uniqueness of social work research and theories is that they are applied and emancipated. Much of the social work research and theory is constructed with service users in an interactive dialogue process and therefore informed by the specific practice environment. The proposed definition acknowledges that social work is informed not only by specific practice environments and Western theories, but also by indigenous knowledge, part of the legacy of colonialism in the Western theories and knowledge have been exclusively valorized and indigenous knowledges have been devalued, discounted, and hegemonized by the Western theories and knowledge. The proposed definition attempts to halt and reverse that process by acknowledging the indigenous peoples in each region, country, or area carry their own values, ways of knowing, ways of transmitting their knowledges, and have invaluable contributions to science. Social work seeks to redress historic Western scientific colonialism and hegemony by listening to and learning from indigenous peoples around the world. In this way, social work knowledges will be co-created and informed by indigenous peoples and more appropriately practiced not only in local environments but also internationally. Drawing on the work of the United Nations, the IFSW defines indigenous peoples as follows. They live within or maintain attachments to geographically distinct ancestral territories. They tend to maintain distinct social, economic, political institutions within their territories. They typically aspire to remain distinct culturally, geographically, and institutionally rather than assimilate fully into national society. They self identify as indigenous or tribal. So, coming to practice, social work's legitimacy and mandate lie in the intervention at the points where people interact with their environment. The environment includes various social systems that people are embedded in, and the natural geographical environment, which has a profound influence on the lives of the people. The participatory methodology advocated in social work is reflected in engages people and structure to address life challenges and enhance well-being. As far as possible, social work supports working with rather than for people. Consistent with the social development paradigm, social workers utilize a range of skills, techniques, strategies, principles, and activities at various system levels, directed at system maintenance and or system change efforts. Social work practice span a range of activities, including various forms of therapy and counseling, group work and community work, policy formulation and analysis, and advocacy and political interventions. From an emancipatory perspective, that this definition supports, social work strategies are aimed at increasing people's hope, self esteem, and creative potential to confront and challenge oppressive power, dynamics, and structural sources of injustices, thus incorporating into a coherent whole the micro and macro, personal, political dimension of the intervention. The holistic focus of social work is universal, but the priorities of social work practices will vary from one country to the next and from time to time, depending on historical, cultural, political, and socio-economic conditions. So it is the responsibility of social workers across the world to defend, enrich, and realize values and principles reflected in this definition. A social work definition can only be meaningful when social workers actively commit to its core values and vision. And also, additionally, the motions that were passed at the IFSW General Meeting relating to the global definition of social work is no part of this definition shall be construed in a way that interferes with any other parts of this definition. Amplification on national and or regional levels shall not interfere with the meaning of the elements of the definition, with the spirit of the whole definition. As the definition of social work is a key element for establishing the identity of an occupational group, a future revision of this definition shall be initiated only after precise evaluation of the implementation process, and the need for change, adding further comments, is to be first choice before altering the definition. So, we'll also look at Global Social Work Statement of Ethical Principles by IFSW, which was released in 2018. The Statement of Ethical Principles, hereafter referred to as statement, serves as an overarching framework for social workers to work towards the highest possible standards of professional integrity. Implicit in our acceptance of this statement as social work practitioners, educators, students, and researchers is our commitment to uphold the core values and principles of social work profession as set out in this statement. So, an array of values and ethical principles inform us as social workers. This really was recognized in 2014 by the International Federation of Social Workers and the International Association of Schools of Social Work in the global definition of social work, which is layered and encourages regional and national amplifications. All IFSW policies, including the definition of social work, stem from these ethical principles. So, social work is a practice based profession and an academic discipline that facilitates social work, social change and development, social cohesion, and the empowerment and liberation of people. Principles of social justice, human rights, collective responsibility, and respect for diversities are central to social work. Underpinned by theories of social work, social sciences, humanities, and indigenous knowledge, social work engage people and structures to address life challenges and enhance well-being. So let's look at various principles. Recognition of inherent dignity of humanity. So social workers recognize and respect the inherent dignity and worth of all human beings in attitude, word and deed. We respect all persons, but we challenge beliefs and actions of those persons who devalue or stigmatize themselves or other persons. Second principle, promoting human rights. Social workers embrace and promote the fundamental and inalienable rights of all human beings. Social work is based on respect for the inherent worth, dignity of all people, and the individual and social civil rights that follow from this. Social workers often work with people to find an appropriate balance between competing human rights. Third principle, promoting social justice. Social workers have a responsibility to engage people in achieving social justice in relation to social society, generally in relation to the people with whom they work. This means challenging discrimination and institutional oppression. Social workers promote social justice in relation to society generally and to the principles with whom they work. Social workers challenge discrimination, which include but is not limited to age, capacity, civil status, class, culture, ethnicity, gender identity, language, nationality, or lack thereof, opinions, other physical characteristics, physical or mental abilities, political beliefs, poverty, race, relationship status, religion, sex, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, spiritual beliefs, or family structure. Respect for diversity. Social workers work towards strengthening inclusive communities that respect the ethnic and cultural diversity of societies, taking account of individual, family, group, and community differences. Access to equitable resources. Social workers advocate the work towards the access and the equitable distribution of resources and wealth, challenging unjust policies and practices. Social workers work to bring the attention to their employers, policymakers, politicians, and the public situations in which policies and resources are inadequate or when which policies and practices are oppressive, unfair, or harmful. In doing so, social workers must be penalized. Social workers must be aware of the situations that might threaten their own safety and security, and they must make judicious choices in such circumstances. Social workers are not compelled to act when it would put themselves at risk. So, building solidarity, social workers actively work in communities and with their colleagues within and outside of the profession to build network of solidarity to work towards transformational change and inclusive and responsible societies. Fourth principle, promoting the right of self-determination. Social workers respect and promote people's rights to make their own choices and decisions, provided this does not threaten the rights and legitimate interests of others. Fifth principle, promoting the right to participation. Social workers work towards building the self-esteem and capabilities of people, promoting their full involvement and participation in all aspects of decisions and actions that affect their lives. Principle 6, respect for confidentiality and privacy. Social workers respect and work in accordance with people's rights to confidentiality and privacy unless there is a risk to harm to the self or to others or other statutory restrictions. Social workers inform the people with whom they engage about such limits to confidentiality and privacy. So, treating people as whole persons is the seventh principle. Social workers recognize the biological, psychological, social, and spiritual dimensions of people's lives and understand and treat all people as whole persons. Such recognition is used to formulate holistic assessments and interventions with the full participation of people, organizations, and communities with whom social workers engage. Eighth principle, ethical use of technology and social media. The ethical principles of this statement are applied to all contexts of social work practice, education, and research, whether it involves direct face to face contact or through use of digital technology and social media. Social workers must recognize that use of digital technology and social media may pose threats to the practice of many ethical standards, including but not limited to privacy, and confidentiality, conflicts of interest, competence, and documentation, and must obtain necessary knowledge and skills to guard against unethical practice when using technology. Ninth, professional integrity. It is the responsibility of national associations and organizations to develop and regularly update their own codes of ethics or ethical guidelines to be consistent with this statement. Considering local situations, it is also the responsibility of national organizations to inform social workers and schools of social work about the statement of ethical practices and their own ethical guidelines. Social workers should act in accordance with the current ethical code or guidelines in their country. Social workers must hold the required qualifications and develop and maintain the required skills and competencies to do their job. Social workers support peace and nonviolence. Social workers must or may work alongside military personnel for humanitarian purposes and work towards peace building and reconstruction. Social workers operating within a military or peacekeeping context must always support the dignity and agency of people as their primary focus. Social workers must not allow their knowledge and skills to be used for inhumane purposes, such as torture, military surveillance, terrorism, or conversion therapy, and they should not use weapons in their professional or personal capacities against people. Social workers must act with integrity. This includes not abusing their positions of power and relationships of trust with people that they engage with. They recognize the boundaries between the personal and professional life and do not abuse their positions for personal material benefit or gain. Social workers recognize that the giving and receiving of small gifts is part of the social work and cultural experience in some cultures and countries. In such situations, this should be referenced in the country's code of ethics. Social workers have a duty to take the necessary steps to care for themselves professionally and personally in the workplace, in their private lives, and in society. Social workers acknowledge that they are accountable for their actions to the people they work with, their colleagues, their employers, their professional associations, and local, national, and international laws and conventions, and that these accountabilities may conflict, which must be negotiated to minimize harm to all persons. Decisions should always be informed by empirical evidence, practice wisdom, and ethical, legal, and cultural considerations. Social workers must be prepared to be transparent about the reasons of their decisions. Social workers and their employing bodies work to create conditions in their workplace, environments, and in their countries where the principles of the statement and those of their own national codes are discussed, evaluated, and upheld. Social workers and their employing bodies foster and engage in debate to facilitate ethically informed decisions. Let's listen to message given by the IFSW president.
Fellow social workers across the globe, fellow social workers across the globe, today, as we gather in spirit and purpose to celebrate World Social Work Day 2025, we are reminded of the profound strength of human connections across generations. This year's theme, Strengthening Intergenerational Solidarity for Enduring Well-Being, calls on us to recognize the deep interdependency between people of all ages and the shared responsibility we hold in shaping a more just, compassionate, and sustainable world. Intergenerational care and connections are essential to everybody's well-being, yet too often they are overlooked by policymakers and governments. As social workers, we know that a society thrives when its people, young and old, support one another with dignity, respect, and reciprocity. The bonds we foster between generations not only strengthen individuals and families, but also create the foundation for functional economies and sustainable communities. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's theme builds upon the wisdom of past World Social Work Day themes, such as Ubuntu and Buen Vivir, reminding us that we exist through our relationships with one another. It expands these principles by emphasizing intergenerational caregiving as a collective responsibility, moving beyond outdated perceptions that hold that caregiving is solely women's work. Care is everyone's responsibility, and it is through this shared commitment that we secure a future where no one is left behind. Intergenerational solidarity also speaks to the economic and environmental challenges we face today. Each generation must act in relationship with the world around them, ensuring that future generations inherit a healthy planet and equitable social structures. The wisdom of our elders is a gift that must be preserved, respected, and reinterpreted by younger generations to address the evolving challenges of our time. This exchange of knowledge is essential in creating innovative solutions that honor the past while shaping the future. At the heart of this theme is the fundamental act of care. That is care between generations, between communities, and between our global societies. Social workers play a crucial role in illuminating and supporting the diverse range of care arrangements that exist across cultures and contexts. We see this in the lives of young carers, children and adolescents who take on unpaid caregiving roles to support family members with disabilities, illnesses, or mental health conditions. These young people often balance their responsibilities with education, personal growth, and their own well-being, yet their needs remain largely invisible in policy discussions. As a profession, we must advocate for stronger support systems to ensure they are not alone in their journeys. Our collective path forward is guided by the principles set forth in the People's Charter for an Eco-Social World, which envisions a sustainable and equitable world built through co-creation, reciprocity, and shared responsibility. It is only through these principles that we can ensure a just future for all, where every generation is valued, supported, and indeed empowered. Social workers of the world, colleagues, today is a day to honor your commitment, your resilience, and your compassion. Whether you are supporting a family in crisis, advocating for policy change, or simply offering a listening ear, your work is a beacon of hope for a better world. Let us continue to bridge the generational divide, recognizing that our shared well-being is strengthened when we walk this journey together. I want to wish you all a happy World Social Workers Day 2025. Let us celebrate our achievements and indeed share our frustrations and challenges. Happy Social Work Day.
So with this message of IFSW President, let's all together come together and celebrate and contribute to this social work fraternity. And also through this fraternity, let's all contribute to the health and well-being of individuals, communities, societies, and nation and planet at large. So now, with this, we shall end today's commemoration of World Social Work Day, and we invite the participants, whoever is interested, can share the details. Now that you know what is social work and what social workers have to do, and what is the duty of social workers, how they have to behave, how they have to conduct themselves in private, public, and all. Now you have an idea, so you can start sharing. You can also share if you have ever met a social worker in your life. If yes, what was your experience and how did that make an impact on you or in society or anything that related to these. So invite you and open the forum for presentations or sharing of your opinions, as this day is also an open day for all. You can raise your hand so that we can allow you to speak or share your opinions. And as a certificate is also given for this open day, which is being held today, that is 18th March 2023, Tuesday, and 31st March 2023. You will be getting an additional certificate. So for that reason, you have to register in the Zoom platform, mark your registration and feedback. And there is no separate registration for that. The same conference registration is applicable. So those who have joined exclusively today, on this day, you can register the same participant and presenters registration form, whichever is applicable, so that you can be part of this celebration and also you can get this certificate. This is an additional certificate. See, in this conference, in this entire conference, you have multiple opportunities. One is the conference participation certificate for participating and also marking your attendance daily by filling up the registration form and also feedback form in the Zoom platform. And second thing is by making presentations on the platform, in the conference. So you are, by completing the formalities and marking your attendance on that presentation day, to registration form and feedback form, you are getting presentation certificate. And by attending to the quiz as part of international conference and World Social Work Day, you are also getting quiz participation certificate. And by taking part in the open day sessions, that is on 18th March and 31st March this year, you are getting an additional open day certificate. See, 4 certificates, different certificates you will be getting, but ensure that you are registering through the conference registration form, either as participant or presenter or both as applicable, and also complete all other details and various quiz. Also attempt the quiz. That is also one more opportunity. See, there are a lot of opportunities. On open day, you are also getting an opportunity to speak openly on different issues. So now you can share your details in the chat box if there are any presentations. Otherwise, we will invite a few of our friends to share their voices, and then we will move on to commemorations, if any. So we will, okay, we'll first take up E.R. Ghanshyam Das. He has raised hand. So, and regular reminder that please do not close the registration form, which is active when you are given permissions. Only unmute yourself and start your video and speak. Only minimize the registration form, because once it is closed, we cannot open. All the data will be lost. Again, everyone will be losing the benefit of registration. And for that, you will be the reason and you will be banned forever on this platform. So you are only requested to unmute yourself, start your video, start your presentation. And we request you to share your details before raising your hand or before, would like to share or make presentation. So we'll go to Ghanshyam Das. Just a second, we'll give you permission to unmute. Yeah, Ghanshyam Jasti, you can unmute yourself, start your video.
Good evening to everybody. I'm Ghanshyam Das Garg, served for 10 years in BHL Hardwar and 27 years in HL Lucknow, retired as Chief Manager Planning. I want to narrate some experiences of past. My wife is MSW from Lucknow University, and she was the youngest principal in country and running Bal Sevika Training Center, Haridwar. They were having very good institute for giving the training to the girls, young girls. About 75 girls were inducted every year, and they were training them for crafts, teaching methods, nursery schools, and other activities. There was a doctor also and the craft teacher also to take care of the girls. In 1974-75, Indira Gandhi, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was late. Mrs. Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister that time, and her appointment was from Ministry of Social Works Department. I had a good experience with her, and many social activities are still going on. She is educating the children and conducting the seminar, workshops, etc. I appreciate Dr. Ravindra just giving brief about the social work and social sciences, etc. Uh, I I love the principles of social work uh, as dignity, worth of human being, promoting human rights, promoting social justice, promoting right and self-determination, promoting right to participation, promoting confidential and privacy, and treating people as biological, social, political, whole person, and ethical use of technology and digital technology, and the professional integrity. He has given very good details of all principles. I like it. That's all from my side. Thank you very much, Dr. Ravindra, to give me opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Ghanshyam Dasji, for sharing your valuable, thoughts on this occasion. Happy Social Work Day to you and Madam also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to share? Feel free to share. Ahmad Salih Mohammed.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. First of all, my name is Ahmad Salim Muhammad. I'm from Sudan. I'm very happy to be a part of this conference. Today is our day, Social Work Day. Is a very important day in this world. I work as social worker in the mental health field. I help many people and youth who use drugs and has problem in mind. Just I want to share my opinion. The social worker is a very important person in this life because it is the person who help others and solve problems. It's not easy for someone who help others and solve their problems and give them as a chance to live good life. That is a very good job the social work do. The second point that I want to share with you, there's many crises in this world, and many people are suffering. You see around us in this world, the social work help those people and give them as a chance. You see, like people live in war, displacement people, refugee people, and homeless people, and those. It's very good for us to celebrate these days and say happy social work days for all of us. We have to keep on this knowledge that we have, and we have to improve our knowledge more than this, because when we are do more than this, we help our colleague and we help our students and we help many people around us. Thank you to give me this opportunity to say a few this word, and thank you for people who make this day happen. Thank you all of you, doctor. Thank you, my colleague.
Thank you, Ahmad. for sharing your experience with us and joining us all the way.
Sir? Sir?
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, I'm Dr. B. Shiva Kumari. I'm working as an assistant professor of history at Hindu College, Nagarkoil, in the southern part of the Tamil Nadu.
Okay, ma'am.
So already, sir, so many times I saw your brochure and information, but I could not attend the program in the Zoom link. But this time I wish to present one paper in the mode, online mode. So it is very useful to me because I face another career advancement. One is associate professor in 2026. So I need this program certificates. It is very helpful to me. But so history and sociology is also interconnected. So we are studied about the human anthropology and the human migration and the social migration. So it is very useful to me, sir. Wish you all the best. I got the golden opportunity. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Actual certificate is last thing we talk about on this platform.
Okay,
But if you want to make presentations, you are always welcome. You can invite your colleagues, students also.
Okay,
You
sir.
fill the registration form, presenters registration form. And
Yeah.
tomorrow you can, after filling up the registration form, you can share your details. And
Yes, sir.
tomorrow you can present. Otherwise, today also you can present. You share the details as
Yes, sir.
it is displayed on the screen. We'll be displaying after everyone shares their details. If you
Okay,
are
sir.
ready today, you can present today. Otherwise, you can take one day. This is 4th day. We have
Okay, sir.
6 more days.
Yes,
You
sir.
can register and keep attending. And after completing the formalities,
Okay, sir.
you will be eligible for the certificate.
Yes, sir. Today I'm not ready, sir. I'm not ready to present the paper. So
Yeah.
from the beginning of the program, one link is given to me. So I filled the registration form. Okay, sir.
That is participants or presenters, you check whichever, because if you are presenting as a presenter, if you are presenting, you need to fill the presentation
Okay.
registration.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. I will send it, sir.
And as I explained, there are different certificates for different things. You can complete all so that it will be useful for you.
Okay, sir. I saw it, sir. Okay. Sorry, sir. I filled the form and send it, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So anyone else would like to share? You are welcome to talk about social work or social service or different aspects of social work, because today is also open day. So we can talk freely, openly. That is one opportunity where non-social workers also can talk. Okay. As an icebreaker session for this session, I will ask one question to all of you here. Let's make it interactive. Have you met any social worker in your life? One by one, you can raise your hand. I will call you and you can answer. So I am just initiating the conversation. So one by one, you can unmute. I will call your names. You just raise your hand. I will call your names. Then you can unmute yourself. So yeah, Shibaji.
Yes, sir.
My question is, have you met any social worker in your life? And what was your experience?
Yes, sir. Sir, my husband is a social worker, but he does not receive any type of recognition from others, sir.
That is different. See, that's what just now what I told you about social work definition, ethics, principles.
Okay, okay,
This is
sure.
not a service that we are doing for some recognition.
Okay.
See, for that matter, any profession. I am a multidisciplinary professional. I am a doctor, and I am also a social worker. I am a psychologist. I am a philosopher. I have multiple academic qualifications, but I don't do for the name or fame. So we have to do our work as worship.
Yeah.
And the name, fame, money will all follow. When we are doing for money, when we are doing for some award or reward, our focus is on that money or reward or recognition, promotion. So our focus should be on our work.
Yes, that's what.
When we do our work sincerely, that will be recognized. Even it may not be recognized immediately, but at some point of time, that will be recognized and appropriately rewarded. But we need to have patience also. Social work, selecting a social work profession is a very bold decision. Not everyone can take.
Okay, sir.
And that itself is it's a call of God, we can say that, not everyone gets an opportunity also to study social work. And even if they study also, they're not practicing social work.
Okay, sir.
So your husband is very fortunate and you are also very fortunate. So focus, keep on doing work, and definitely one day you will come and say to me on this platform or personally that, sir, you was right on that day you said, and today I'm enjoying. Though I struggled long years, I was not recognized, but today I got even more. So we have to have patience, have trust on our work, keep faith on God and our profession. Definitely one day we will get the fruits, but we have to wait till that time. We need not be in a hurry. So for some, they will get immediately, but for some it may take years also.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Mary Florence, you can unmute yourself, start your video. So everyone, feel free to raise your hand. One by one, I will call you. We'll have good interaction on this.
Good evening to all. I thank Dr. Ravindra sir and Sri Holistic Health Foundation for giving me this opportunity to express my opinion. Sir, when I studied in my school, the first social worker I met was in my young age was Mother Teresa. I got the opportunity to meet her personally. So that inspired me. And in Bangalore, I visited the Shishu Bhavan where mental retarded children was there. Then, and in my final year BA, I got the opportunity to meet Sudha Murthy. That is the inspiration I got to do MSW, sir. So that's the desire made me to take MSW, and I'm still striving to do service to the humanity.
That's very nice. You have very good inspiration and great personalities. You are very fortunate to meet them and get inspired in person. That's a wonderful thing. And, social work is a continuous opportunity. And I also have been, seeing you on this platform, and you are doing wonderful work. So as I have said, see, this is an opportunity. This is a God-given gift. And it is an opportunity we got, and not everyone is fortunate. We have seen so many social workers, they also take it as some job, but it's not a job. It's more than a job. It's it's a lifestyle. I would say social worker has a lifestyle, and I see you are by heart. You are also doing by heart. That is what required. Don't expect anything. Things will definitely come. Money will come, position, status, everything will come. But it will take time. We should not be in a hurry, to
Yes, sir.
get awards or rewards. That
Yes,
will
sir.
come. For some people, we have seen, many businessmen, many celebrities, many scientists who got in their late 80s, 90s. Some even did not get recognition until, you know, uh, when they were alive. After that, people
Sure.
recognize that they have been awarded with various international, national awards. So it depends. We can't say that when we'll get, but definitely we have to keep doing, and definitely one day or other day it will come. And also, you need to, uh, participate, make people aware of your contributions. Also, that is also important, because
Yes,
generally what
sir.
happens, we don't tell what we do to others. Some
Yes,
people
sir.
will boost themselves. That is not correct. So
Yes,
we
sir.
should at least tell, genuinely, not exaggerating. We should
Yes,
also
sir.
make people aware of what we are doing. So
Yes,
that
sir.
is also important.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, how people will come to know?
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, with all the dignity, the ethical, principles and all, we need to respect others' dignity, confidentiality, privacy.
Yes, sir.
Because we are doing help, we are helping someone. We cannot take them for granted, and we cannot, just expose them in front of everyone,
Yes,
saying
sir.
that I have helped him or her, and he or she is now as this position because of only me. This kind of
Yes,
things is completely, not at all acceptable.
yes,
So
sir.
this is where, instead of getting good name, we, unfortunately, uh, get blamed. So these are not related to social work, but as a human being, these are certain principles, values, ethics we need to follow. And
Yes, sir.
many I see most of the time, because you are practicing them, and I really appreciate for your efforts. And
Thank you, sir, very
definitely
much.
you will also be recognized. Every social worker will be recognized one day
Yes,
for
sir.
their
Thank you,
hard
sir,
work.
for your wishes and blessings.
And we just need to wait for the day to come and continue doing service.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I wish you all the success, and
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, sir, on this great social work day. I thank you and Sri Holistic Health Foundation and Sri Research Institute for giving me this wonderful opportunity, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
okay, thank you.
Sir, can I start?
Yeah, Rinta, you'd like to share?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for giving the opportunity to uh, for this. Actually, I'm currently studying in like Bachelor of Psychology. So last month I did an internship. So I gained insight from that how psychology and social workers are connected. Like our child psychologist told that working with uh, social workers and psychology students are very much connected. So in that institution, we worked with social workers. Our supervisor was a social worker. She treated the children. We actually worked with autistic children or and ID students, intellectual disabled students. So we worked with them. So the view of the social workers were just they were treating them with love and care and all, and we treated as them subjects. So our psychologist told that why we treat them as subject and why not just friends. So as a point of psychologist, we told that yeah, we need to observe them as unbiased, and so that we can know what is like affecting them, or yeah, what environment they are being affected. And from the view of social worker students, they just wanted to treat them as friends and play with them and like that. And we were taken to another institution. Then in there, the patients with schizophrenic and various disorders, substance-related disorders, they were they were treated, and once they were just uh, good enough for living by themselves, they were given vocational training, and then some are like earning now. So social workers play actually an important role in like helping them in shaping them, whereas psychologists also like as a student we also help them in shaping, and we give much more emphasis on their behaviors, on behavior modifications and make reports. That's what I gained insight from an internship. So that's the thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinta, for sharing your views. You are from which state, which place, college?
I am from Assam,
Okay.
Karmashri Hiteshwar Sekya College.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you, ma. All the way joining from Assam.
Thank you, sir.
So you can also make a paper presentation in coming days, as you have done project or internship. Based on that, you can prepare a paper and present along
Okay, I will
with
try.
advice of your supervisor. So in that way, you will be able to share your experience also, right, with others in the form of academic presentation.
Okay, can I like present about any subject or something like that?
Yeah, that also you can do. In coming days, you register and you prepare a presentation. Take help of your supervisor and you can present.
Okay, I will try.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And happy Social Work Day to you.
Same to you, sir, and to everyone.
Yeah, thank you. So, anyone else would like to share? So, as an ice breaking, I have given a question. Have you met any social worker in your life? If yes, what was the experience? Anyone would like to share? Feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself and introduce yourself one by one. Feel free. Mary? Okay. See, this is our day, Social Workers Day, who have got influenced by them or who have been part of our family or who have, inspired us. So even if you are not social worker also, if you know, it's fine. If you don't know, so we are assuming that others did not meet any social workers. So can it be assumed in that sense? There's nothing wrong. It is always like we meet an engineer, doctor. In a similar way, the same thing happens. It's not that everyone should be meeting a social worker or seeing a social worker or seeing a doctor, seeing a teacher, and so on. Then, if no one else would like to share, then we'll move on. And those who have shared their, opinions, kindly share your details in your chat box, like name, designation, department, organization, and place from where you are joining, along your email address and mobile number. So that will help us to make a note of it. And you will also be getting a certificate for sharing your views. So we can prepare the certificates for you. So this is special opportunity to get one more certificate. So try to be more interactive. We'll move on to presentations then. So we have topic Language Death and Preserving Regional Linguistic Diversity by Shilpa Bhagat, Central University of Jammu. Shilpa, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Ama, you can start your video as well.
Okay, sir. I will share my screen, sir.
Now you can share your screen as well. Your screen is visible, ma. You can unmute yourself, start your presentation. Start presenting. And all the participants are requested to register using the and mark your attendance using registration form. Yeah, Shilpa, unmute yourself. You are muted, ma. We can't hear you. Shilpa, can you hear me? You are muted, ma. Unmute yourself. Some network issue. I think Shilpa has some technical issue. So we will start our commemorations and then we will invite. In the meanwhile, you fix your issues, technical issues at your end. So today, we'll quickly take up the commemorations. So today, we are celebrating English Tourism Week. From March 18th to 27th in UK, especially, as Tourism Week is an annual celebration of English tourism. It showcases the importance, value, and vast contribution of the tourism industry to UK economy, government, and stakeholders. So, in 1970, the statutes for the observance of World Tourism Day on September 27th was adopted by the United Nations World Tourism Organization, in short known as UNWTO. The adoption of these statutes is considered a milestone in global tourism. So the objective of this day is to raise awareness of the role of tourism within the international community and to show how it affects social, cultural, political, and economic values worldwide. In 2017, the theme of the day was sustainable tourism, In 2018, the theme was tourism and the digital transformation. In 2019, the theme was tourism and jobs for a better future for all. In 2020, the theme was tourism and rural development. The 2021 theme was tourism for inclusive growth. As it in it at its 12th session in Istanbul in October 1997, the UN WTO General Assembly resolved to nominate a host country each year to function as organization's partner in the celebration of the World Tourism Day. However, at its 15th session in Beijing, China, in October 2003, the Assembly agreed that the World Tourism Day festivities will be held in the following geographical order: Europe in 2006, South Asia in 2007, the Americas in 2008, Africa in 2009, and the Middle East in 2011. So in 2009, the late Ignatius Amadua Atigbe, a Nigerian national, was recognized for proposing the idea of marking September 27th of every year as World Tourism Day. And blue is the official color of World Tourism Day. So you can make some presentations, you can create awareness, or you can go for a tour in this week. People are given more paid vacation days in UK. In this period, in this week, travel has become more convenient and affordable, and there are more automobiles on the road, and roads and highways are of higher quality, making it easier to drive further in less time. And that's how the tourism also has risen in UK. So Visit England is a national tourist board for England, and it is also responsible for marketing England to domestic and established overseas markets for improving England's tourism products. We see not only just in England or UK, across the world, tourism is a wonderful opportunity for livelihoods and also for the economy of the nation. So use this week as an opportunity to build connections with your local destination management organizations. Get in touch to see what they are doing to support English Tourism Week. This could be putting out a press release to round up local tourism week events. The finalists are featured by the Mirror and other local media. There are several awards to be won and other valuable benefits in the program. You can amplify your reach and engage more audiences by joining the English Tourism Week marketing campaign or creating more awareness. So making up 80% of the UK's visitors' economy, English tourism in 2019 generated over 100 billion pounds, or 100 billion euros and pounds, and supported 2.6 million jobs. Tourism is one of the England's largest industries, usually generating more than 106 pounds billion a year for the English economy. So more than 27,000 businesses across England have signed up to Visit England's We Are Good to Go industry standard and consumer work mark. So at its 15th session in Beijing, China in October 2003, the UN WTO Assembly created a geographic order for the celebration of World Tourism Day. So His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, in English Tourism Week's patron, and the event is managed by Visit England and EWT Executive Committee. So English Tourism Week features the big weekend event, which encourages local visitor attractions to offer free tickets to residents. The goal is to turn locals into better informed ambassadors for their country, meaning they can recommend great things to see and do to visiting friends and family. The annual Tourism Superstar competition is held in partnership with the Mirror newspaper It helps showcase the amazing people who work on tourism frontline. Every year, 10 finalists complete to be crowned the tourism superstar. To mark English Tourism Week every year, Visit England dedicates a section of its website on the many business to consumers and business to business events and offers held by business tourism across the country. These include anything from money offers, free cups of tea, and one-off theme guided tours. Today is also commemorated as Forgive Mom and Dad Day in US, which is part of family relations and human relations. Forgive Mom and Dad is observed on March 18th in many parts of the US. Every parent had a mistake or has argued with their child. Our parents are only human and are prone to making mistakes. But let us not forget, as a child, we made also a lot of mistakes too. Our parents forgave us plenty of times too. Now it's time we forgive them, letting our parents know that we do not hold them accountable for past mistakes will surely make their day. There is a day to remember that although our parents failed at times, they did their best to support us. We all have had rough days with our mom or dad, where we might have said mean things to each other. Most times we do not mean those hurtful words. There is no point holding a prolonged grudge against them. Unless your parents were intentionally cruel or abusive, it's better to forgive them for their faults. Parenting is a difficult job that requires immense patience and effort. Parenting does not come with a guidebook. There are times when our parents mean well, but are not able to channel their love in the right manner. In such a scenario, the best way we can do is to accept them for who they are and let go of any resentment that we might have felt towards them. Instead of suppressing your anger or sadness, you can start a new healthy conversation with your parents and let your feelings out. Discussing problems can help you and other person identify and understand them. Accepting your emotions is a good for your mental health, so maybe give your parents another chance. So, how do you forgive an absent parent? Before you forgive your parent, it is important to acknowledge that you feel about them. Embrace the hurt, anger, bitterness, or grief that their absence made you feel. You might also experience abandonment issues. By forgiving them, you can let out all the pain that was residing in your heart. It is difficult to have a face to face conversation with your parents, especially if you have not been talking to them for a long time. If that is the case, you can write them a letter, send them a gift, or leave a simple text. Many parents shared a toxic relationship and it affected child. It's okay to forgive them. Yes, it is. When you forgive, you do not necessarily have to forget the wrong that has been done to you. At times, forgiveness means to set yourself free of the long term pain that you have been holding in your heart. Dwelling on your parents' past mistakes is only going to prolong the discomfort and anger. So, as the name suggests, this is a day to reconcile with your parents if you are not on talking terms or have disagreed. The first step is to do this is forgiveness. The best way to resolve arguments with parents is to discuss them. Listening to their side helps you to understand the situation and come to terms with it. If you are finding it to talk face to face with your parents, you can write a letter, send a message, and about how you feel. You can either read it to them or give them to read it online. Forgiving is not forgetting. Forgiving does not mean forgetting. It is about acknowledging that something wrong happened and should not happen again. The doormat effect refers to the unconditional forgiving without taking into account the negative consequences it can have on us. So be aware of the doormat effect. Sometimes you have to forgive without expecting an apology. So research says that forgiveness promotes a sense of well-being by reducing anxiety, stress, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels. Forgiveness makes you aware of the hurt, grief, or anger you might be feeling. Forgiveness means to let go of the hurt or grief and that someone caused you. The act of letting go empowers us psychologically and emotionally. This day brings us the opportunity to open up to our parents, tell them about childhood experiences that have affected us. This allows them to understand your feelings. By forgiving your parents for their past mistakes, you recognize their flaws. This allows you to rebuild your relationship with them. Today is also commemorated as Global Recycling Day, which is celebrated on March 18th every year. It's about recycling, reducing waste, and contributing to the environment and reducing pollution. So, Global Recycling Day is a recycling initiative that encourages us to look at our trash in a new light. There are several ways to recycle that allow some materials to be reused multiple times. Recycling is great for us and the environment because it lessens the energy we use, enhances the quality of water and air we breathe, and combats climate change. It also reduces using new raw materials to create new products, saving money and natural resources. Newspapers, plastic water bottles, soda cans, cereal boxes, and milk cartons are some of the uncommon everyday recyclable items. If you put effort into recycling items that we usually throw away, we can impact the earth and our lives in a more profound way. Since becoming an UN recognized day in 2018, millions and millions of people and businesses have joined hands to boost awareness about recycling through the Global Recycling Day initiatives. It's almost impossible to miss the hundreds, if not thousands, of reports on media about global warming, the negative results of our bad habits on the planet, and pockets. Annual reports estimate that the Earth might not live to see the next decade if we don't curb our litter. So it is very important to act now, otherwise perish. Natural resources are threatened as pollution closes in on climate change as well. The last decade had seen the most extreme temperatures in history, which causes not only natural devastation, but an economical one as well. It is no secret that we need to make significant changes to save our planet and lives. This is precisely why Global Recycling Day was created in 2018. This day emphasizes the importance of recycling and conservation by educating the world about the status of our essential resources. The Global Recycling Day Foundation sets out clear goals of Global Recycling Day. The foundation communicates directly with world leaders to combat the issue as a global team. Approximately 700 million tons in CO2 emissions were saved by recycling this year. This is set to increase to 1 billion tons by the year 2030. Many other people, organizations, and governments are directly endorsing the global green agenda, which facilitates higher recyclable numbers. So we have the power to make lasting changes to combat this, with recycling being recognized in the UN Sustainable Development Goals 2030. The Global Recycling Foundation is pleased to announce the theme of Global Recycling Day 2021 as Recycling Heroes. The theme and hashtag movement will help environmentally conscious people, places, groups to become more recognized, helping them have a substantial influence on greener future initiatives. Recycling saves energy. It is a major energy saver. For example, the Steel Recycling Institute acknowledged that steel recycling saves sufficient energy to electrically power an equivalent of 18 million homes for a whole year. So 1 ton of recycled newsprint saves 601 kilowatts per hour of energy, about 71 gallons of oil, 7,000 gallons of water, 10.2 million BTUs of energy, saving approximately 60 pounds of air pollutants from being released and 4.6 cubic yards of landfill space. Wood is the most recyclable material on the planet. It can be reused as building material, made into mulch for landscaping, or pulp for paper making. Many people also reuse wood as fuel. Recycling and reusing wood lessens the need to cut down trees. Are you recycling? It is one way to save our planet. Recycling helps reduce energy usage, the consumption of fresh raw materials, air, water, soil pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions. What are you waiting for? Start recycling. Enlighten others on recycling. Teaching others about recycling and its benefits can be fun regardless of age. People seem to listen when you talk about money, and recycling can save you, your neighbor, or someone else money. So add that part when creating awareness. Use online and social media, digital media to shout out to everyone who helps in recycling and popularizing recycling as a major activity in their lives. Recycling measures should be part of our daily lives, and the individuals who take them seriously deserves accolades. So give them awards, rewards, or even a pat on their back and a good word if you can. Over 50% of the aluminum cans produced are recycled. Each household in UK uses approximately 600 steel cans a year. Glass can be recycled continuously without losing its integrity or altering its quality. Papers are reborn in a week. It could just take 7 days for old magazines and newspapers to be recycled into new ones. So for every ton of recycled paper, 15 trees are saved as trees are dying. Recycling prevents pollution. It lessens greenhouse gases. Emissions and water pollutants, saving energy and reducing the number of air pollution prompted by burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas, which greatly contributes to the largest amount of energy produced. We could save money through recycling by saving things that can be easily reused. This includes disposable containers, soap, clothing bags, and even furniture. Using any of the following techniques, you could save you or a friend money and you need to buy fewer new items. We can have fun and enjoy this day by creating recreational activities with friends and family, or sorting out recyclables as fun activity for the kids, and decorating bins, playing games, or finding hidden recyclable items and placing them in the containers marked for it, part of fun activities for kids. Today is also commemorated as Goddess of Fertility Day, which takes place on March 18th every year, revolves around the ancient tradition of certain gods endowing humans with the gift of procreation. Though numerous cultures have different gods, Aphrodite is a figure that has managed to stand out in the history in the West because of her strong persona and intriguing life. People often prayed or made offerings to her for the gift of a child. Even those who don't want a child can celebrate the day too, since it's linked to all forms of life, including animals and plants. So use this special occasion to fix a date with your partner or simply plant a tree to make this world clean and green. So uh, issues with conceiving a child has existed for centuries. There are instances where couples are not able to conceive owing to biological factors or problems with reproductive health. Hence, fertility is to date considered a gift that is to be cherished. Even today, we see a lot of fertility centers thriving in every nook and corner of lanes because of these fertility issues. According to research, nearly 90% of healthy, fertile women can conceive within an year. And yes, a lot more is required apart from a healthy sperm and a blooming female egg for conception. There is an entire process of fertilization, and a mishap at any stage can cause infertility. Although the entire process is scientific and biological and natural, numerous individuals, through their beliefs in gods and powers of the universe, wind up following ancient traditions and rituals in order to conceive. Among these beliefs is the belief in fertility gods and goddess. For instance, Aphrodite, is the goddess of sex, love, and beauty. She is also known as the goddess of the sea, since she was created from the white foam of genitals of Uranus. But since her popularity lies more in the lover and fertility department, she is said to have been part of the marriages and was often prayed to couples who were unable to conceive in the West. So Aphrodite was famously mostly because her origins were linked to gods like Zeus. For instance, Horner believed Aphrodite was the daughter of all-powerful Zeus and Dione. She is also said to have numerous mortal lovers. So this is in a Western context. Even in Indian Eastern context, also we have gods, like we have an aspect of goddess Lakshmi, Santana Lakshmi, goddess that bestows the procreation and children. And also there are many various other gods and goddesses of fertility. We have also fertility of god like Baal. And the symbol of fertility is a crescent moon in some cultures, and some cultures it is different. So the day is not just limited to conceiving a child, anything procreation in the nature also. It also focuses on every form of life, for animals, for plants, and so on. So the day is to honor, plant a tree and wait it for to grow, or foster, adopt pets and help them grow, reproduce. So Greek mythology is rich with intriguing stories. Conduct research on Aphrodite, which is from Greek mythology, her origin and her relationship. Similarly, different mythologies have different goddesses, gods and goddesses. Explore on this day. Today is also commemorated as National 3D Day, especially in US, observed annually on the third day of third week in March, takes place on March 18th. So this day is dedicated to 3D technology and its various mediums. So three-dimensional technology has a long and storied history and is becoming increasingly common as the time passes. So that is also very useful in various domains, especially having three dimensions, especially not just length and width or height, but also the depth perception. Because we have two eyes that observe the world from somewhat different perspectives, we perceive it in three dimensions. Our brains usually blend these 2 points of view together, and the perception of depth is experienced as a result of disparities. 3D Space, a non-profit dedicated to the preservation of stereoscopic images, found National 3D Day 2 years ago, but the history of 3D dates earlier than that. In 1838, Sir Charles Wheatstone produced the first stereo 3D drawings. Viewing 3D photos became a popular kind of home entertainment in the second half of the 19th century. So the invention of 3D movies, comic books, holography, and other methods of viewing 3D representations of the world occurred during the 20th century. Virtual, augmented, and mixed reality technologies have opened up new ways to create and interact 3D material. Because of the cost and techniques required to produce and broadcast 3D pictures, they have been mainly limited to a niche in the motion picture industry since 1950. Nonetheless, 3D films were quite popular in American cinema in the 1950s, and they had a worldwide renaissance in the 1980s. Lenny Lipton, a filmmaker, inventor, novelist, and songwriter, has had a lasting impact on numerous parts of 3D. He began his career in the early 1980s when he founded Stereographics Corp. Crystallize, a stereo visualization system launched by Stereographics in 1989, was utilized for the medical imaging, aerial mapping, and molecular modeling. He was also principal developer of the Z-screen polarization modulator, which allowed a projector to show both the left and right sides of a stereo pair on the same screen. This method, which was introduced in 1988, was utilized for the molecular modeling and aerial mapping visualization. Today is also commemorated as National AG Day, especially in US, as we believe that food is for everyone. National Agricultural Day is celebrated on March 18th. This year during Agriculture Week, everything we eat, use, or wear every day is provided by agriculture. Most people didn't understand the contribution of agriculture to our lives. To know more about how we are agriculture, how agriculture is directed towards our health and lifestyle. Today we are celebrating agriculture and thanking all the people who work hard to feed the world, look after the crops and livestock, and contribute to agricultural production. Almost all of us take agriculture for granted. So National Agriculture Day is arranged by the Agriculture Council of America. This is a non-profit organization that comprises all the leaders in agriculture and food community. This day is observed to honor the efforts of people related to agriculture and promote awareness about these efforts among people. So it is a day of the year when all producers, agriculture organizations, universities, corporations, and government departments take out some time to recognize the greatness of agriculture. National Agriculture Day was founded by the Agriculture Council of America in 1973. The first National Agriculture Day was celebrated by ACA in 1979. Since then, ACA has put efforts into creating awareness about the role of agriculture in modern society. So even if we are not involved in agriculture, we should learn about how our food and fiber are produced, as well as how our agriculture provides us with safe, abundant, and useful products. Another important thing that agriculture provides us with employment opportunities. Therefore, we should also acknowledge the career opportunities in the field of agriculture. So agriculture is from the Latin word agri, which means field, and the word cultura means cultivation. It basically means cultivating a piece of land. In 2019, 22.2 million full-time and part-time jobs were available in the fields related to agriculture and food sectors. So lots of jobs created. An American scientist and humanitarian, Norman Ernest Borlaug, is known as the father of agriculture in America and the father of Green Revolution. He won a Nobel Prize for his work in the agriculture sector in US. In India, we know the Swaminathan. You can also volunteer in arranging an event in your area to celebrate National Agriculture Day, or you can attend online sessions like this. And you can also arrange a farm to table activity in your area and educate the young people about the role of agriculture in our lives. Or you can also have field trips to agriculture. Today, you can take pledge to buy locally produced products or support local farmers and farming in your country or in your area, state, or wherever you are located. If you are unemployed, consider opportunities in agriculture. There are probably many career opportunities in this sector. for the people as demand for food is increasing day by day. So 22 million people are working in the field of agriculture in the United States. Each farmer in the United States feeds 144 people, which is much more than ever before. In today's world, the average age of farmers is 58.3 years. 48% of farm workers think of farming as their primary occupation. The average size of farms in the United States is 434 acres as a single piece of land for cultivation. So, who doesn't like to be appreciated? We love to celebrate this day to appreciate and recognize the work of people working in the agriculture and food field. On this day, many people learn about agriculture, where our food comes from, and how our food is produced. We celebrate this day to create awareness about locally produced food and fiber. Even social workers also play a crucial role in agriculture. With the increased knowledge of agriculture and nutrition, individuals will be able to make informed personal choices about eating healthy and maintaining a proper diet in order to live a socially conscious lifestyle and avoid diseases and disorders. Today is also commemorated as National Biodiesel Day, one more day dedicated to environment and sustainable development. Especially in US, you can appear smart, eco-friendly, and resourceful to the friends, family, and co-workers by celebrating National Biodiesel Day on March 18th. No doubt they will be impressed with you, your mad gas knowledge. In the documentary Fuel, Josh Tickle's movie, environmental activist and filmmaker Josh Tickle explores alternative energy sources, especially biofuels, as a way for America to break free of its dependence on foreign oil. If you are more interested in movies with stars in them, it's worth mentioning the Larry Hagman, Richard Branson, Willie Nelson, Sheryl Crow, and Woody Harrelson all make appearances. So try to watch the movie Fuel today to get more insights. And there is one more film, Diesel. You can, if you have used Fuel, now see the dramatic creation of Rudolf Diesel's life in the 1942 German biographical film. So if you don't speak German, turn on the subtitles or check. If you are fortunate, you can get an English version as well. So eat some French fries or some healthy food. It's actually possible to use the vegetable oil, which is used to make French fries and other delicious fried foods. Or, if you are health conscious, try to consume healthy food and recycle it into environment-friendly biodiesel. So while you shouldn't try doing this at home, having some fries to salute the gas that drives the world is a yummy option. So basically it talks about used oil as biodiesel option. So trucks, tractors, boats, shipping equipment, irrigation systems, mining equipment, electrical generators, diesel-powered cars, and all many systems that use diesel also enjoy a venti-sized order of biodiesel to make them go. We are more reliant on biodiesel fuel than we realize. So that's why dedicated March 18 to show appreciation. And today is also commemorated as Rudolf Diesel's birthday, who was inventor and mechanical engineer who created the diesel engine. He also happened to disappear in 1913 and was found dead under mysterious circumstances. There's no better time to salute the man whose invention led to engines that power agriculture machines, submarine ships, and much later locomotives, trucks, and many modern automobiles. So finally, today is also commemorated as Transit Driver Appreciation Day. which is related to work and appreciation of women in work, especially in driving. Transit Driver Appreciation Day, celebrated on March 18th, especially in US, is a time of year when you can think and thank and appreciate your transit driver for doing their job well. You may not realize, but transit drivers make a great contribution to the community. They ensure the safety of transit travelers, keep a track of the stops, and bear the responsibility of dropping passengers off the right location. Moreover, transit drivers put aside their comfort to make sure passengers reach their destination on time. Without transit drivers, we would never be able to reach the correct destination on time. So take this opportunity to show them how grateful you are. March 18th is a day chosen because the first bus line processing Essing Souls was launched on this day in 1662. This was the first form of public transport in the world that became functional in Paris in the West, but the idea of public transport is centuries old. For instance, back in 4000 BC, people traveled in wooden boats to trade. By the 16th century, boats were replaced by sailing ships to cover large distances across the world. These journeys were made easier in 1807 after the invention of steamboats and motor-powered ships. Furthermore, the Industrial Revolution led to the development of other modes of trading goods, such as motorway and advanced transport forms. These were later used in public transit. So transit bus drivers are assigned to transport passengers across the routes. It is necessary for transit operators to be clear in oral communication. A driver should possess the skills of steering the vehicle and putting on brakes smoothly. They should also have a solid knowledge of road signs and routes. Many people might not be aware that such a day as this even exists. So take photos with your transit directors and post them for the world to see. So to do something special, design Transit Driver Appreciation Day badges or some materials and distribute them among transit drivers. Doing this shows that you care and identify with the efforts and sacrifice of transit drivers. So the largest bus in the world can hold 300 people. Public transport reduces carbon footprints. That's why, opt for public transport. At any one time, just in US alone, 60,000 people are in the air, traveling in the air. People in some countries still use animals to travel. The original word is omnibus, the full form of the word bus. So this day is appreciated and loved because it offers encouragement to transit drivers who dedicate their lives to ensuring people reach their required destinations on time. These professions rarely ever get appreciated for their work. So this day allows drivers to feel good about and proud of their jobs. People on this day show drivers how grateful they are. The day helps in boosting the confidence of those who are employed as bus drivers. It also motivates the interest of people planning to embark on career path. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us on this wonderful day. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the registration form, which has been shared in the form of polls. So today, because of having open day, today's workshop, animal workshop session has been postponed to tomorrow, and one extra day we'll be taking up at the end of conference to complete the session. Otherwise, we'll see if we get some time, we'll take additional time slot and complete one session within these 10 days. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, registration form, so that we can launch the feedback form. So presenters who are waiting for their presentations, you can join tomorrow and make presentations. Kindly refer to the website link, which has been provided in the chat box. Registration forms are there, which is only once for the entire conference. So we thank each and everyone for being part of us. So while filling feedback form, if anyone would like to share your feedback, oral feedback, or still anyone would like to share your thoughts, you are welcome on social work day or social work related topics as a last call before end of the day. So if there is none, then thank you everyone. See you all tomorrow with the same joining link. Take care. Good night.